Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we are going to cover UPSC Prelims PYQ series. Geography segment 2025 preliminary questions will be discussed in today's video, students. In this particular video series, actually we will be discussing how we have to apply the logics and elimination techniques effectively inside the examination hall. Not only that, students, we will be also discussing you what are the various ways you need to actually select a particular question. There are some questions you need to necessarily attend inside the examination hall. There are some questions you need to skip to avoid the negative marks inside the examination hall. So you will be learning all these techniques through this video series, students. So stay tuned till the end of the video and try to improve, especially what are the other ways you can effectively reduce the negative marks inside the examination hall. Okay, students, let's learn some of the important keywords. So for applying the keyword strategy, we need to remember positive keywords and negative keywords. Some of the positive keywords used in the UPSC Prelims examination in the last 10 years are can, some, may, one of the. Negative keywords, some of them which has been frequently used by the UPSC examiners in preliminary examination are directly, to the extent of, but, none, binding, all, every, mandatorily, immediately, steadily, temporarily, easily, wholly, should, must, not, cannot, any, entire, only. So you need to remember this, students. I will be sharing this material in our Telegram group, which is given in the description box below. So those of the students who want this particular material, you can join the Telegram group and you can access this material also. Okay, let's move to the first question which has been asked in the UPSC prelims from geographical segment, students. Consider the following countries. So overall they have listed almost 6 countries, students, and they are asking whether Andes mountains passes through these countries or not. For this you need to necessarily remember the South American map. If you would have actually some idea about the South American map, means Andes mountain is actually located in the western side of the continent. That is the first logic and common sense you should have. Not only that, students, if you look at these countries, especially here, Brazil and Paraguay, you can easily eliminate from the option. Why I am saying is both of these countries, they are located actually almost to the east of the continent and not to the west. So there is no actually possibility for these countries to share their border or through Andes mountains. So if you look at the remaining options, overall 4 countries are available, and that can be the only option which can be correct for this particular question, students. So answer is option C, that is only 4. Let's move to the next question, students. Consider the following water bodies: Lake Tanganyika, Lake Tonle Sap, Patos Lagoon. So through how many of them equator passes? So basically you should have some map reading knowledge, especially for attending these kind of questions, students. And those of you who are watching our video or our channel for the first time, I will be suggesting you, in the playlist column we have actually made available the geography through mapping series. And if you are actually not till now you have watched any of those mapping series, means please try to watch. That is available in both English as well as in Tamil separately. So try to watch in your specific language which you are comfortable. And I have covered North American continent, South American continent, physical and political features completely. Using that you can crack all the most of the South American related questions which has been asked in the exam. This particular question is picked from African continent and some of them from South America also, because Lake Tanganyika, it is almost located near to the Tanzania and Democratic Republic of Congo. That is in Africa, students. This particular lake is located. Tonle Sap, this is located in Cambodia. So that is part of Southeast Asia. Patos Lagoon, this is actually located to the south of Brazil. In Brazil only, in South America, but it is almost in the south of Brazil. Now, if you know after locating in which country they are located, this lake, you can now logically think whether equator passes through that country or not. Because Tanzania, if you could see, students, in Africa, while reading the basic physical features only, I will be telling to my students, you need to remember only Lake Victoria, because through Lake Victoria only equator passes and not through Lake Tanganyika, because this is also almost very much near to the equator, but equator does not pass us through this particular lake, only through Lake Victoria only. Lake Tonle Sap, Cambodia, you know where Cambodia is located, where equator is passing. Equator is passing south of India, and this particular Cambodia is located to the east of India. So it is nowhere possible, you can eliminate it. Then go to the Patos Lagoon, southern Brazil. In the central Brazil, equator passes, not in the southern Brazil. So you can eliminate this also. So if you eliminate all the three, then the answer will be D, none. So what I will be telling is, those of the students who are preparing for UPSC Prelims 2026, my sincere suggestion is try to have some map reading ability. You should not go only through the places in news column, because now in UPSC Prelims they have changed the trend. You need to cover the continent in a proper manner. That is, you have to cover physical and political features, the important significance of lakes, as well as the cities, mineral resources. You need to remember, because from where repeated questions has been, now they will be surely they will be going to focus in the coming year examination. Okay, students, let's now move to the next question. Consider the following statements about turmeric. India is the largest exporter producer of turmeric. More than 30 varieties of turmeric are grown. Maharashtra, Telangana, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu are major turmeric producing states. They are telling, they are asking us which of the statement given here is correct. And they are also telling we have to consider this statement in the limelight of 2022-2023 in that particular year. Okay, students, generally what I will be telling is, whenever UPSC is not using any kind of keywords, if it is a neutral statement, means most of the times it will be correct only. That is the first logic we need to apply. Not only that, if you know some basics about turmeric, students, you know very well, turmeric actually, the basic condition is it requires high amount of sunlight. That is a basic condition, and not only that, it requires rainfall also, but there should not be any waterlogged condition. That is the first logic. Water should not be stagnant in the place where turmeric is growing, then it will not grow. So if you consider the first fact to be correct, because we know this turmeric is grown in India very well, in particular if you are coming from South Indian state, and if even from the state of Tamil Nadu, you know very well, from Salem, Erode regions it's growing. Karnataka, they are growing in some regions. So with this fact, you can assume that India could be the one of the largest producer and exporter. More than 30 varieties. You could not remember the varieties and all, but more varieties could be possible. If it is grown in India, diversity of crops is always possible. You can go with that logic. And the third statement, Maharashtra, Telangana, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. Basically, students, all the states which are listed here, they contain lot of plateau. That is what I am telling. If it is a plateau region only, then there is a chance for turmeric to grow. Like you cannot grow turmeric too much in case of North Indian regions, plain regions. Why? Waterlogging is highly possible. Plateaus means it will have an uneven terrain. It is easily, the water cannot be stagnant in that particular area, and it can move to the neighboring regions. That is the reason statement 3 is highly correct. Using that logic, if you assume the statement 1 and 2 also to be correct, you can go with option D. So what I will be telling is, whenever you are reading, especially the various crops, you should necessarily remember what are the various parameters, especially what is the amount of sunlight it require, what is the rainfall condition it require, and what are the hazard or threat to the particular crop. You need to know, and where these crops are grown in India. In this particular manner, you have to cover the important agricultural crops of India. Then only you can answer. But for answering this fact, you need to take some amount of risk inside the examination. And some kind of crops, India will be the largest producer only. You can use that logic, students. Okay, let's now move to the next question. Which of the following are evidence of phenomenon of continental drift? This is directly picked from 11th standard Fundamentals of Physical Geography book. That is one of the heartbeat of UPSC preliminary examination, and for geography also. I have been telling repeatedly to the students the importance of this book for prelims and mains. So you need to remember this. If you read this particular book, you can easily answer whatever facts they are asking here. The belt of ancient rocks of Brazil, it matches with that of Western Africa. Yeah, that is the important thing, students, because you know the zigzag feet. They, especially Western Africa and Brazilian regions, they matches in a zigzag feet. Okay, gold deposits of Ghana, they are derived from Brazilian plateau. Obviously, these two have matches in physical, geographical, geological things. That's what has been discussed in 11th standard book, and in that manner, second statement is also correct. Gondwana sediments from India is known to have its counterparts from 6 different landmass in the southern hemisphere. We know very well. India, in the past, it was actually attached to African continent, and it belongs to Gondwana. In that particular Gondwana, Australia, New Zealand, this side Brazil, all these continents have been united together in the past. This also is a correct statement. So all the statements given here is correct. Hence the correct answer here is option C, students. Very easy question, picked directly from your basic NCERTs. You don't need to take too much time in answering these kind of questions, students. Let's move to the next question, fifth one. The amount of dust particles in the atmosphere is more in subtropical than in equator and polar. Yes, correct only. Why? Because in equator rainfall will be more. Whenever rainfall is more means it will wash away the dust. But in subtropical areas, deserts are there, dry winds are there, so dust particles will be more only. Even recently, if you see in Delhi, there is more air pollution. To escape from air pollution, they used some artificial technology of artificial rain, and they failed in that, which has been in news frequently. So using that kind of common sense which is coming in newspaper also, you can apply this statement and you can make it correct. Second statement, subtropical and temperate areas have less dry wind. That is wrong. They have more dry winds, not less dry winds. So second statement is wrong, first is correct. So the option C, first statement is correct and 2 is wrong. Sixth one, this is also directly isotherm question picked from your NCERT from climatology chapter, that is 11th standard fundamentals of physical geography. Please, those of you who have not read that book, go and read it and try to make notes from that and revise it multiple times. This one book itself will help you in answering most of the questions in the geographical segment, but you have to have some concept clarity. Okay, students, in this particular question, in January, northern hemisphere, the isotherms bend equatorward and crossing the land masses, and poleward while crossing the oceans. And second statement, in January, air over the oceans is warmer than over the land masses in the northern hemisphere. Basically, students, one thing we know very well, imagine this is land and this is water body. So land gets heated first as well as it gets cooled first. And we know very well in the month of January, the sun will be where? At the Tropic of Capricorn. So in the northern hemisphere, what will happen? It will face winter. Winter means land will be having more cold. Land will be colder and water will be relatively warmer. So what happens is that when you draw isotherm, the lines connecting equal temperature, so in landward it will bend towards the south. Imagine any weighted item, it will go down. In that logic, it will go down, whereas in water bodies it will move up. So this is the logic. Using that logic, you can pick both the statements to be correct. And in water bodies also, since it is warmer ocean currents will be flowing through that. So both the statements given here is correct. So you can go for option A, that is both 1 and 2 are correct, and 2 explains statement 1. Seventh one, in the context of effect on water on rocks, chalk is a very permeable rock, clay is quite impermeable. Yes, this is correct, students. We know very well clay will hold water, so it is little impermeable only. Okay, or least permeable. They are only giving it is impermeable or least permeable. That means very little amount of water only it will be releasing. Second one, chalk is porous, hence can absorb water. You know what is the meaning of porosity? That is a space between the, especially the sand particles. So in case of chalk, in this particular rock, the mineral composition will be, there will be some space between these minerals. So what will happen? The water can easily flow through them, hence it will be absorbing water. That is correct, students, logically. Third statement, clay is not at all porous. See, students, how contradictory they are talking about. First statement only they are saying clay will be least permeable. That means little amount of permeability will be there. And here they are saying it is not at all porous, means it won't even allow any kind of water. That is totally wrong. So what is the correct answer here? Only one of the statement, that is 2 and 3, out of that only one is correct, and it explains, statement 2 explains statement 1. So C is the correct answer here. Eighth one, without atmosphere, the temperature would be well below the freezing point everywhere on the Earth's surface. Very extreme statement. Most of the times it will be wrong only. So every is also a negative word, without is also a negative word. But more than that, logically, if you assume here, students, see what they are telling. If there is no atmosphere, temperature will go below freezing point everywhere. How? In daytime, sun won't come. If sun comes, means temperature won't increase. How it will be having negative below freezing point everywhere on the surface? Totally nonsense statement. Eliminate the first one. Second statement, heat absorbed and trapped by the atmosphere maintains our average temperature. Correct. Atmosphere gases like carbon dioxide are particularly good at absorbing and trapping radiation. Both are correct, students. Second and third statement. Hence the correct answer here is option D. Ninth one, They are asking about a scheme, Rashtriya Gokul Mission. This is related to cows. You would have heard about it because it comes in newspapers frequently also. They are telling that first statement, it is for upliftment of poor. So basically, animal husbandry activities are generally encouraged to provide additional source of income for the people in village areas. So it can help rural poor. Using that logic, you can assume that it will help small and marginal and landless farmers. It was initiated to promote indigenous cattle. Obviously, the current BJP or RSS government is protecting and promoting cows in a lot of manner. And in that logic also, you can assume that this particular statement would be correct. Hence, both are correct. 10th one, they are asking about more than 4 time zones. More than 4 time zone students, one important thing what I will be telling is, if you know this particular fact, this is given in basic NCERTs actually. In your 6th standard, 7th standard NCERT, if you read means, they have given in a box column telling that in which countries Russia will be having around 11 time zones, like that they have listed this in your NCERTs. If you know that fact and if you would have done some additional groundwork about all these countries where more time zones are available, then you can go and answer this question. Otherwise, my sincere suggestion, don't be emotional. Even though it looks like a simple question, chances of you landing in negative mark is more. So please don't show your excellence in this particular question. Leave it very decently, dignifiedly. Let's learn now. Overall, that is option B. 4 countries have more than 4 time zones because Brazil have exactly 4 time zone. The remaining countries, if you see here, students, other than Brazil, every country is having more time zone, which they have listed here. Let's learn. Maximum number of time zone in the world is available for France, 13. Russia and USA have 11 time zones. Australia and UK have 9. Canada have 6. Denmark and New Zealand have 5. So try to remember this. UPSC, if they are again curious about time zone concept, they might ask this fact again. So try to learn all important facts about that. 11th question. Anadir in Siberia, Nome in Alaska. They are few kilometers from each other, but when people wake up and get setting for breakfast, it will be different days. Yes, we know very well, students. Let's imagine this is Asia. This particular continent is North America. Yes. So now what happens? What they are telling, Alaska we know is located here. So Alaska here, one particular place they are telling no, and in Siberia, that is part of Russia, Anadir is located. So basically international date line passes almost here. We know if you cross the date line, 24 hours will be the time difference. That's what they are telling, and that is true. When it is Monday in Anadir, where is Anadir? In Siberia, that is in Russia. If it is Monday here, then what will be the day in Alaska? It will be lagging one day. It will be Sunday here. They are saying Tuesday. It is logically incorrect. So only one statement is correct here, students. And this concept is explained in your basic 6th standard, 7th standard, 8th standard NCERT. International dateline concept. Go and revise that. You can easily answer this question, students. 12th one. So countries and the mineral resources. Botswana, rich in diamond. Chile, lithium. Indonesia, nickel. How many are correct? Basically, whichever minerals they are telling with respect to Africa, Botswana is part of Africa. Mostly it will be available only. Use that logic and go for it. Otherwise, also now recently they have discovered lot of diamond resources in this part of Botswana, and Botswana has become rich because of that. That's why it was in news. But my simple suggestion to the students will be, in Africa, most of the mineral resources will be available. You can take that risk. Why? Botswana, if you would have studied the Africa physical map, it's located almost near to South Africa. South Africa, gold and diamond is available. In Botswana, why not? Use that logic. That's what I will be telling. Use logic. And Chile, lithium. Basically, this is also, lithium will be available in the drier regions of the world. So in Chile and Peru, nearby that regions, Arica Desert is located. There, lithium is actually largely available, and that is also correct. Nickel, usually students, this will be available in regions which are facing high rainfall. Indonesia is located near to equator, and that will be facing high rainfall, high temperature. So it will have nickel. So you should know some logic actually. Whenever you are reading, as I said before, cropping regions also, like that, mineral resources, you should have some logic. If some mineral is found, means what are the requirement? Temperature should be more or less, rainfall should be more or less. Add that extra fact to your knowledge. Then in particular question, if they ask anything, means you can use that logic in a reverse engineering mode and try to get that answer in a simple manner. Here all the 3 facts are correct, students. So here they are asking region and the country. Again, this is asked from European region. So basically, if you see, they asked almost one or two questions from South America and two questions from Africa, and from Europe one question, and from Asia, Cambodia one region. Almost they covered all the continents of the world in an equal manner in geography in 2025 exam. So 2026, be ready for it. They can give you any kind of challenge. My sincere suggestion is don't take that as a challenge or surprise, because you know very well UPSC is not move away from the trend from current affairs to conventional segments. So go and read the all the mapping segments we have given in our playlist column, also two continents. First revise that, and in the coming days also we will try to come up with the other continents also. Okay students, in this they have listed the region with the country. So basically, if you are, unless and until you are very sure about these regions, answer it. Otherwise skip this question, don't land in negative territory. But actually this Normandy is part of France, and then Sardinia is part of Italy, and Mallorca is part of Spain. So if you are very sure, only you can answer it. My sincere suggestion, otherwise skip it. Don't take negative marks, students. So I hope this video was very useful to you. We'll come up with more such videos for each of the subjects across the years. And if you have any feedback or suggestion to us, you can give in your comment in the comment section. And for accessing this material, kindly join the Telegram group, students. Thank you.